Hello farm friends, this is Tara, the farmer's daughter. We wanted to share with you an apple cake, which is one of our family's fall favorites. And of course, the apple cake, we are using BrynTeg farm apples. I posted on the website the recipe for this, the recipe for what I am making here. And I like to make a half of the batch because it calls for making a whole 8.5 by 13 pan, but that's just a little bit too much. I like to split the recipe in half and split all of the ingredients in half and give everything a generous half of the ingredients that all go in here. So I have mixed here this batch. I just need to add the apples, and as I mentioned before, these are all from BrynTeg Farm. They're a mixture of sweet and sour apples, and I got about 4 or 5 in here. I can't remember, I lost track of the count. So I'm just gonna add that in. Gonna mix it in. Got that mixed up, and because I split the recipe in half, I bake this in a loaf pan instead. You can see it's a long loaf pan. It bakes really well in a loaf pan, so you can do that as well if you're splitting the recipe in half. So I'm just gonna pour that in the loaf pan. Going in, get this cleaned out. All right, so now that it's in the loaf pan, I am going to flatten it, even it out, sure it's all in there. Okay, I got that pretty even. Now comes the best part of the recipe, which is a cinnamon and a sugar mixture that gets sprinkled on the top. And I'm gonna spread this in here, so try to spread it pretty evenly. So that's going in there. And you're gonna add some chopped nuts. I have almonds here. I normally like to use walnuts. Didn't have any, but the almonds work well. So I'm going to sprinkle that on as well. I should have put it on first actually, before the cinnamon and sugar. Oh well. I'll finish putting the cinnamon, the rest that I have here, on top. So now this is going to go in the oven for about 45 to 55 minutes depending on the oven. And once it's done, let it cool a little while and then you can serve it warm right away. It keeps well for a few days for a snack or for dessert on following days. But when you serve it warm, a little bit of ice cream is also pretty good.